Henry versus Sean, I think if that fight happens, it's a phenomenal fight.
You got to.
And then whoever wins to get to face the rightful king, bow down, kiss the pinky ring.
I think either way, it looks good for you. That was obnoxious.
It was obnoxious. Right?
I think you beat either guy. Honestly, I'm not just saying that because you're my employer, but I would hate to see Sean lose. You know?
Yeah.
What do you think happens?
So this is the way I look at it. It's a meal ticket for either one of us, Henry or myself. So, like, say I do get to fight Henry. Henry beats me, then he gets the golden ticket. He gets the meal ticket to fight Sean. I beat Henry, then I get to fight Sean. I get the meal ticket to fight Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Or these guys fight while I heal up, and then I come back. I think even if Henry does beat O'Malley, I think it's still a big fight between myself and Henry. I don't know if it's a bigger fight than myself and Sean. Now, if Sean beats Henry, I think that now me versus O'Malley now becomes a massive fight.
Yeah.
Even bigger because he beat the guy who's the wrestling god.
Yeah, they'll market, and what they'll do is they'll make Sean look like such a beast in the marketing.
Yeah.
And they'll try to make you look bad.
Perception is reality, man. How people perceive you is really everything because if they look at you in such a shape or form, then it's true in their world, you know? So if Henry does go out there and he somehow drops the ball to O'Malley, which I could easily see happening. I even talked to Dominic Cruz, and we're breaking down the fights. We both agree that the bigger danger factor is with Sean O'Malley versus Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, I feel like I agree. Yeah.
I have nightmares about the fight, though.
About Sean and Henry?
With both of them. And, like, the worst case scenario, like, what can actually happen? Like, I fight Henry and I have these nightmares. I'm like, I'm moving and I think I'm moving well. And every time I'm moving, he somehow perfectly times my calf, kicks my calf out 3 times, and then I'm compromised. And then somehow, some way, I'm on my back getting punched, can't move. Same thing with O'Malley. I go for a takedown. He lifts his knee, times it perfectly, right on the chin. Good night. So these are like the nightmares that I legitimately do have.
Wow.
And it helps me like think about how I want to do things and how I want to approach the fights more. So this way I'm a little bit more prepared because I'm seeing these ways of victory for them. Okay, now how do we stop that? How do we prevent this from happening? And how do we get to a position where I'm dictating the pace of the fight? And then I have to reprogram that, and then we have the rematch in my head, in my nightmares, and then I figure out different ways on how I beat both guys.
So you're having dreams and then like consciously thinking about the like what you'll do based on the dreams, and then you'll have other dreams about it?
Yeah. But
that's actually insane.
But it'd be the vice versa of winning now. And
that's crazy.
I was at Syndicate MMA. We were sparring on a Saturday. This was last week.
Yeah.
Last week, yeah, because I did Sunday was my last workout over at 10th Planet, and then Saturday I sparred. I went with Marab, but their Muay Thai coach. We were striking. He was like, I'm going to go light with you. I'm obviously bigger. I'm not going to hit you hard kind of thing. And I always go, okay, everybody says that. And it's either you're going to hit me hard and I'm going to have to ego gets in the way, or you're going to hit me hard, or I'm going to see that you're trying to hit me hard, and I'm going to back out and not play the game where now, instead of us having fun and going back and forth and engaging with each other, like you get to go, I get to go, or I get to go, I get to go, I get to go, then you get to go, you get to go, then I go, interrupt. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of like you're training and you're kind of making it meaningful versus just I'm just going there to win every single time.
Right.
So if I feel that, now I'm like, okay, I'm just going to jab you, I'm going to front kick you, I'm going to kick your leg, and I'm just going to circle on the outside, and I'm not going to let you touch me, and that's going to be the round. Thanks for coming. It was fun.
So that's
boring as shit.
Yeah.
So I go with him, and a super nice guy, and he was actually really respectful. He had elbow pads on, so I kind of got a little bit nervous. I looked at him, I was like, this guy's got elbow pads on. I don't know what he's trying to do right now. So we work, and the first round, we go back and forth. I hit a lot of inside leg kicks. He checked a couple, and then we went the second round. And the second round was night and day from when we first went, because now I'm a little familiar with him. I'm like, okay, he's cool. I could pick it up. I see he's being respectful. He's not trying to headhunt me. And then I probably landed double the amount of leg kicks on him. And afterwards, we talk. We start talking like fight tactics and things like that. And he goes, bro, that second round we went, the adjustments that you made in real time was insane. He was pretty much saying like the fact that you were able to hit me so much more times without me being able to counter was night and day. He was like, you made such fast adjustments. It was like you downloaded everything and then you knew exactly what you wanted to do the second time around. And I was like, yeah, once I realized, like I told him, like once I realized you weren't like trying to actually hurt me, then I could like kind of pick it up a little bit. And then I kind of went for it a little bit more, not like up top, but with the legs, to the body. That's all fair game to me. So, yeah. I think being able to make those adjustments, going back to what we were talking about, watching, like having those type of dreams, those bad nightmare dreams, and then being able to make that adjustment and seeing how you can do things better and prevent some stuff. Because sometimes, even like the Umar fight, like that fight was so competitive until it wasn't. It was literally like neck and neck. Umar might have been edging him out, I think, little by little. We're going to get to that. Mm-hmm. And then he lands a one beautiful, super unorthodox strike that this guy's probably never seen anyone throw, and it shuts the lights off.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. It's just like you could do everything right, but if something out of the norm happens, and that's why fighting is so crazy.
Right.
It's unpredictable. You never know what someone might just go, you know, I'm going to try this because I saw this one time, or I feel like this might work, and it just somehow it works. And then you look like a freaking god.
Yeah, which he did. Mm. That was insane. I don't know. Is that what you want to get into?
That was my thing with Henry and O'Malley. But I do think that's a great fight. I don't know who's going to win, but it just reminds me how great this bantamweight division is, and there are some killers. I mean, we could start with Umar, but even not even just talking Umar, you got Javid, you got his brother Farid, you got Adrian Yanez, Jack Shore, Chris Gutierrez, Jonathan Martinez, Marab, Ricky Simone. Man, the list goes on and on. Jose Aldo just retired. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, Frankie Edgar just retired. And so we lost some of those guys, but they're a little bit older. Even though I still think Aldo could still compete with the top guys in the UFC. Sandhagen, Rob Font's still there.
Yeah, wow.
There's a lot of good guys in this bantamweight division, man.
It's so stacked.
And people were trying to say, like, the bantamweights don't make the money yet because of the size. And I go, like, then why does Mayweather make so much more money than just about everybody else?
His mouth.
He fights at 145.
Yeah. But
you know?
Is it because he talks a lot of shit?
But they were trying to say the bantamweights, they said anything under lightweight. I think they might have said...
it was because the average person is like the same size as a lightweight or a welterweight. Yeah.
But they were saying anything under, I think under a lightweight or lightweight and under doesn't really draw. And I'm like, well, I don't really buy into that narrative because I look at Mayweather, I'm like, well, he gets people to pay for him, so what's the difference?
I don't know. It's probably just marketing, just what gets pushed. I do think there's a thing, like the bigger the fighter, like physically, it's probably a little easier to market.
Physically?
Like how jacked they are, or like how tall they are. Like a heavyweight is a lot easier to market.
It's not big, man.
No, I know, but maybe he's the exception.
Gervonta Davis.
But then there's like Ryan Garcia, who's like
Gervonta Davis.
Yeah, both those guys are 135.
Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. Like, I look at those guys, I'm like, well, if they can draw, then what's the difference? And I think the difference might be the fact that the UFC doesn't promote fighters. They promote UFC events.
Yeah.
UFC 283, UFC 280. It's not Mayweather versus Pacquiao. We're not promoting that. We're promoting, like, imagine if they say we're not promoting Mayweather versus Logan Paul. We're going top rank 77.
IBF, yeah. IBF, WBF.
Golden Boy 39 or 200.
No one would buy it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what they're talking about.
That might be the reason, actually. I'm actually sitting here and we're talking about it. That actually might be the reason. Because if the UFC, they promote UFC 280. They promote UFC whatever the number is. And people are like, oh, you're going to watch the UFC. What's the name? Oh, what number is it? They talk about the number. They don't even talk about who's on the card. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we might have. Ding.
Or they just talk about the main event. Like, that's on the poster, but like the two guys.
Yeah.
But there's no one else there, like.
It's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that's why it doesn't draw as much as it should. Maybe. I have no idea. But that's my speculation, and I'm going to run with that narrative to the day I die.
But I also don't know if I believe that it doesn't draw. Like, because, like, one of the biggest stars in the sport is a bantamweight.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the pay-per-view numbers for that fight card.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I actually haven't even gotten paid from that pay-per-view event yet.
Wow. Takes a while.
It takes a while, yeah.
Yeah. But Umar, yeah, fucking, he looked crazy.